welcome into a space of gentle, kind, peaceful frequency. Understand that there is no rush here, and there is no right or wrong way of doing this. Allow yourself to take a few moments to prepare for the journey ahead. Make sure that you are comfortable. Have your ear buds in and your headphones on. Create a space where you can fully enter in. Enter in with your mind, enter in with your heart, and enter in with your body. Close all of the mental tabs. Make sure that the room is not too hot and not too cold. Make sure that the clothing that you're wearing feels comfortable. We're not in any rush. We have all the time that we need for this experience. So allow yourself to take a gentle and deep breath in, and then a gentle release. Take a deep breath in, and hold, and now gently release, let go. Imagine that there is sparkly, misty light all around you. And as you breathe in this beautiful, lovely mist. Breathing in, and your whole body fills up every crack and crevice with this sparkly, misty love. And release. So you breathe in peace, breathe in, and allow peace, and gently release. And focus on that breath coming into your nose, filling up the belly and the lungs, and then gently being released. Feel comfortable. Feel snuggled in and safe and protected on your journey here. And take a moment to think about someone or something that brings a smile to your face and joy into your body. That you think on this person or this place or this event, and your whole body remembers and responds with a gladness. It's a joy that you can feel into your body. And then imagine that joy that your body is feeling deep in its core. Imagine that it is a beautiful purple light, and it gathers all of its light into a small ball at the center of your being, right there below the breastbone. And it all gathers there, this beautiful, deep purple, sparkly light. And it starts to increase and grow until it fills up your whole entire body, out to your fingertips and your toes, the top of your head, the bottom of your spine, and then it continues to flow out of you with all of this purple, sparkly, beautiful frequency emanating outside of your body, having come from within you. And now you are swimming in this beautiful, purple, sparkly, warm light. And you feel held, and you feel heard, and you feel seen, and you feel safe. And so, with one last deep breath in and in and in, and releasing, we embark on an adventure. So you find yourself walking along a very well-worn path. Are there trees all around you, or are you by the ocean? Is it a path that is near the highway, or out on a country road? You give yourself permission to use your imagination as a healing tool on our journey. And so you continue on this path, realizing that you have a backpack, and understanding that in your backpack you have some tools, and you're not exactly sure what you're going to be using these tools for quite yet, but you have this inkling that you have an intention of using these tools for something very specific on your journey today. As you continue on, are there any birds in the sky? Are there any squirrels? Do you hear any dogs in the distance? This is real life. Maybe you're on the highway and a car drives by. You are intentional. You are doing your work of being on your journey. As you continue down this path, you see in the distance something quite large. And so you are quite curious about what it could be, and you quicken the pace just a bit to be able to get closer to it. As you continue down the path, you come closer to this object and you realize that it is a giant billboard. So now you're standing right in front of this billboard. And it has words and or a picture on it. Maybe the words say something like, "It's your job to make sure everyone around you is happy." Or maybe there's a picture of you holding 10 people on your back, and it's heavy, but you're doing the best that you can because you feel like, well, that's what you're supposed to be doing, right? And then you remember the backpack and you slip it off your shoulders and you open up the zipper and you look inside and you see that there is a saw and an axe and a hammer. And so you pull those things out and you decide that you don't want this sign to be there anymore. So the first thing you do is you start to hack away with that hammer. And you start pulling down the sign, pulling the nails out of the sign with the hammer. And you take the axe and, almost like trees, you hew the big beams that are holding up this ginormous sign. And it takes a lot of effort. It really does, because this sign has been there a long time and there was concrete poured so that the beams would definitely hold up this sign. But you saw down this sign. And then over to the side, in the clearing, you notice that there is a bonfire. And you take the parts of this sign over to the bonfire and you lay them on there, and you watch as the sign, with its message and its ingrained information, just burns, lights up the sky. And you return to the path. And you see that there's no sign there anymore. So you take your tools, you put them in the backpack. You grab that backpack onto your back and you continue down the path. And you feel different. You'd never thought to get rid of and even burn the sentiments on that sign before. It never occurred to you that you could do that. It feels risky. It feels freeing. You continue down the path and you come to another sign, and you already know what you're going to do this time. And so, very matter of fact, You're not even afraid this time. You knock down this sign. This one said, it's very important that you make a lot of money. It's very important that you come in first or second place. Third place, 8th place, 10th place, not good enough. You need to be number 1. It's you or them. Or maybe the sign says, you need to keep working. Life isn't about having fun. It's about producing. Get to it. Or maybe the sign says, you need a 9-to-5 job. You can't follow your passions. You can't make a living out of that. What are you thinking? Or maybe the sign says, you will never meet anybody who will love you. Or maybe the sign says, you will never lose that weight, you know. Or maybe the sign says, you're always going to be stuck here. Things will never change because people don't change. Or maybe the sign says, it is what it is. Nothing you can do about that. And you know what to do. You knock down the sign. And very matter-of-factly, you take it on over to the bonfire and you light it up. And you watch it burn. And you start to be able to feel freer and lighter. Things feel different inside. You head back to where the sign was. You gather your backpack with all of its tools and you continue down the path. And you know you're coming towards the end of your journey and you see one last sign. But this one's a little bit different. This sign, you want it to stay. But instead of burning it down, you've decided that you are going to repaint it. And so you see that there are all sorts of buckets of paint and paint brushes. And there are people there to help you. This is a party. And so, each of you with your different color paints and your brushes, you start painting this sign, painting over it. Whatever was underneath, it doesn't matter. It doesn't apply to you anymore. You are worthy. We are here to have fun, you think. Life is supposed to be enjoyable. There's supposed to be laughter and food, peace and relaxation, and you are open-hearted to it all. Friendships. Creativity, community, and so all together, you paint the sign. And as you step back and you grab your arms around the shoulders of the people next to you, and they wrap their arms around your shoulders, and you look at the beautiful, creative piece of art that you have made together. What does the sign say? What have you created together with all of those other people who are actually you? What is the sign that you want to see? What is the sign that you know that you are worthy of seeing when you are on your journey? Maybe it says, life is so good. Life is better because I'm here in the world, and the world benefits from my frequency and my story. Maybe the sign says, I'm waking up and I remember my God spark. Maybe the sign says, I forgive myself. Or maybe the sign says, I forgive them. They didn't know what they were doing. Or maybe it's just a picture of a beautiful scenery, or a beautiful plate of food, or a bunch of people laughing. And now you realize, as you continue on your path, that you can paint over signs, or you can tear signs down, but that you get to create your reality. You get to decide what it is that you want to see, hear, believe, and partner with. This is your life. This is the reality that you are creating. And so with a great big smile, you toss your backpack and a few paintbrushes into your backpack, and you continue down the path, full of power, full of knowing your glory, full of excitement, peace, and deep healing. Take a moment to allow yourself to become conscious of the breath that is coming in through your nose and out through your mouth. Take a couple of breaths. Let yourself ease back into this moment, into this timeline, into this incarnation, into this physical body. Wiggle your toes and your ankles. Flutter your eyes open, maybe just a little bit. Well done. Well done, good and faithful soul. How you are awakening on this journey. How are you coming into the fullness of remembering who you are? This sacred discovery. thank you for taking the time on behalf of the collective to be curious, compassionate, and courageous on your journey. You are healing all of us. And we couldn't love you more or be more blessed by your life. Take a moment to take one last deep breath in and let it release. And drink a nice large glass of fresh water and journal this experience. Let it settle down into your bones. Your frequency has shifted. Drink your water, journal, let it become embodied and integrated into this moment. I love you. And here's a hug.